this gets us in a roundabout way to Roquan Smith, which is more interesting than subtle rule changes, I guess. He wasn't there again. He probably won't be there Thursday night unless both sides have a change of heart. That means to me a PR problem for the Bears. NBC, there are going to be a lot of people who watch this game just because they want to see football. And they're going to have to hear about the ugliest thing that's going on and here. I'm not sure. I don't know whether that hurts the Bears more than Roquan, but it certainly hurts everybody. I think.
Yeah, but there's 2 points about that.
Right.
Two things that are absolute. Definitely going to be a PR issue for the Bears.
Yep.
And the Bears don't give a darn about PR issues. We already know that. I'm not even mocking it. That's the way they operate.
Right.
And it's specifically the way that Ryan Pace operates. He is. I think if there's one thing we can say about him that has really marked his tenure as a GM is he is impervious to outside criticism.
Sure.
He will make unpopular moves. He doesn't care what it looks like. I mean, he will trade Martellus Bennett to the one team that can make him look bad.
That can win the Super Bowl.
The only team that can win with Martellus Bennett was the New England Patriots, and he had no problem trading him because he wanted to get the most he could for him.
Sure.
He's not worried about Cam Meredith going to one place where he could actually blossom into a pretty good player. He's not worried about the impression that he bid against himself to get Mitch Trubisky in the draft.
He's not worried about optics.
And for a first-time GM, it's kind of admirable.
Right, sure.
That he doesn't care about it. But what I'm saying in this instance, I think it's a little bit more of a dangerous thing to not worry about what public perception is, especially when you have a team that is just that has gone, as he knows, from the ground up. So I think there's a little more danger. I think him being insulated from public opinion, I think it's a little more of a risk at this point. But it's very interesting to see how they're like, what me worry, through this whole thing.
We were talking about this last night, and announcers tend to lose interest in the Hall of Fame game maybe, a quarter and a half in, because it's going to be a lot of guys that most of us have never heard of playing in the game. They'll talk about topics around the league, and you can bet that Roquan Smith will be one of them. We talked to Vic Fangio about Roquan today, and I think the takeaway from me was that Vic was guarded, which Vic is never guarded about anything. Whether he had gotten a talking to beforehand or whether he just didn't want to get involved.
I'm sure he was advised to not debate the issue, the actual issues involved.
I asked him specifically, after we had talked about this helmet rule, whether he understood why players and their agents would be concerned about their contract language. And he looked at me and smiled and said something along the lines of, I'm not going to give you a quote to print. And he knew what we were all looking for, which was kind of greater insight in his opinion about this kid being gone. He said the right things, said that he had a good OTA, said that he could be the quarterback of this defense, but he's not happy that he's not here. And he said that Roquan not showing up on time was... What was the direct quote? Unfortunate for everybody, or
I can't remember.
That it was bad news across the board, and he ain't wrong.
Well, Vic is my age, and he's an old school guy.
Plays
that to a hilt, with the sweatshirt, the old school sweatshirt. He's an old school guy. I'm pretty sure he's in the camp of the kid. Just get the kid in camp. The kid should be here.
Did he play Smuggle the Bacon or whatever that game was?
Steal the Bacon. He probably did.
Yeah, no, no, you're right. He's probably.
The kid should be here.
Yeah,
and that's a legitimate. I mean, I get the people who think that he should get whatever he can, and this is worth fighting for.
Right.
But on the other hand, I believe it's an age-old philosophy that maybe not age-old, but it's one philosophy to get the kid in camp, get his clock started, his developmental clock started, and like Brian Urlacher, a great example of a guy who signed early and had that attitude. That was remember talking to him about that when he signed in June of 2000. I just want to get in camp. People hate it when you hold out.
Right.
I just want to get in there and start playing and get used to playing with my teammates. And sure enough, like 3 years later, he signed like a $56 million contract. That's how it's done. I'm not saying that works for everybody, but that's one school of thought.